Morning everyone. So last night I was out again from back 9 o'clock through to just after midnight until the dreaded dew appeared again on the lenses. I did have the dew shield on, which prolonged it a little bit further, but I didn't set up for any dew heating, and it was evident towards the end of the evening that the images were starting to get a little bit less pronounced of what I was capturing. So currently just set everything back up again this morning, and currently going through taking some flats and some darks and some bias calibration frames. Last night, however, I did have an issue with my existing guide camera, the Bresser FullHD camera. It just absolutely did not behave itself last night, and for whatever reason I couldn't get guiding. It wasn't transferring images. I tried different USB ports, I reset up the PhD2 profiles, recalibrated, but absolutely nothing was behaving itself with this camera last night. I've had issues previously at doing exactly the same thing, and I don't know what triggers it off, but in the end I gave up with that camera last night and switched across to my new ZWO ASI120mm camera. Managed to get that set up, no problem. Managed to get some focus on there, connected it back to the ASI2600MC-P, and recalibrated. Did the dark frames for the calibration in PhD2, and then did a mount calibration, and it was running fine. Guiding wasn't as good as I had a couple of nights ago, however I did get round about 1.2, I think it was, on the average arc seconds. So that's that. So at the moment just setting up, as I say, some of the calibration frames, and once that's all done we'll jump across to the laptop and see some of the single shots that were captured last night. Okay, so we've copied all the data off the laptop and I've taken it up onto my main machine. On my main machine here, I normally run two separate physical drives, one for the storing of the data, which I've got here in my incoming folder, and then on the Z drive here I have the working folders, and I found this helps with the speed of processing because the drives are not getting bogged down in data, reading and writing all the time, so get more efficient processing. So last night was on M33 Triangulum, and in the folder here you can see I've created my four main folders with the bias, darks, flats and lights, and a couple of other images I captured as well, and just grouped all the data in there. So if we take a quick look at a couple of the light frames, so the first frame we grabbed was at just after 10 o'clock, and it's come out, it's appeared on the wrong screen. It's appeared on, it's come out not too badly. We can see we've got a lot of detail in there. This is a 3-minute exposure, 180 seconds, and we can see some of the other named entities within the Triangulum Galaxy. I can't remember what they are, but there's a couple of NGCs and a couple of ICs, I think, that are in there. But I dare say once we upload this onto Telescopius or whatever and let it do the annotation, we'll be able to work out which ones are which. So for a 180-second exposure, it's come out pretty well. If we take a look down at some of the others, you can see the data remains pretty good. And obviously before I stack, I'll go through and remove any odd ones. There's a couple of fuzzies in here. Obviously something's taken a little bit of a wobble while it's been grabbing images. And there was one, number 15 down here. We did have a star trail or a satellite trail or something come through the image. And last night again was brought to a close early due to condensation, although I did have the dew heater set up, the dew shield set up on the main OTA. I didn't have any heating elements set up, and when I went out to check round about 12:30, something like that, there was certainly a noticeable difference in the quality of the exposures was coming out, and we start to see some of the details being lost, and it's getting a little bit fuzzy as the condensation is starting to form on the main lens. Okay, so if I have a look at the guiding, you can see here that we a pretty stable guiding evening. So this was on the new ZWO A120. The first camera, as I said in the earlier part of the video there, the Bresser FullHD camera, it was just playing up, so I had to swap across to my new ZWO A120mm and got all that set up. So we came out with an RMS error of 0.55, and obviously that's without it being properly tuned and things like that, so it wasn't too bad at all there. Okay, so I've created a copy of my lights folder, and I'm going to work my way down through all these and delete the ones which I don't think are worthy of being included, particularly the ones towards the end where the condensation is visible, or condensation has an impact on the data, and also the one that had the satellite trail coming through it. Obviously, I didn't work on the master lights there, just in case I delete something and I wanted to have another go at it. So I'll just do that now, work my way down, and I'll use the ASI Fits Viewer just to work through that, see what we've got. So while I do that, I'll just pause the video. Okay, so after having gone through all the files, I've been left with 29 3-minute exposures. So now I'm going to pull it into DeepSkyStacker. Okay, so let's open the image files. Of course, I'm working on a copy of the lights, so pull in these ones, darks, flats, and offset and bias. Okay, so I need to check all my light frames. Let's register those. And I'll come back when it's done its thing. Okay, so that's just finished stacking, and it's loading up the image it's created. It doesn't look too bad here. So next we'll do a little bit of cleanup, just very quickly in Pixinsight or GIMP, just to see how it comes out. Okay, so opened up the TIFF file that was generated by DeepSkyStacker, and I was playing around with it in Pixinsight and in GIMP. I didn't record any of that simply because I haven't got a clue what I'm doing in either applications really. Post-processing is something that I haven't got the patience for at the moment, and I'm still learning what all these strange terms are and blah blah blah. So in essence, I just click buttons, move sliders, retry, start afresh again until I get something that's relatively satisfying. However, in Pixinsight, I only downloaded it a couple of days ago, and I did get the add-on AutoScript, which I'll put a link to in the description. It's got some basic assistance scripts in there, which help things a little bit. And once I'd happily created something, as you can see on the screen there, that looked reasonable, I moved it across, saved the image out and opened it into GIMP, and changed some of the colour properties there, which I think is even more appealing, and resized it down, just suitable for the web, etc. So that's M33 Triangulum Galaxy that was captured last night. 29 subs I think I was left with by the time I finished. 3-minute subs, as well as a suite of dark bias calibration frames and flats, and really that's about it for today. So thanks for watching. Please do the channel a favour and support with your comments and suggestions or how to do post-processing, anything like that. And of course, help me by subscribing to the channel so you can keep up with what I'm outputting if you like it. So that's it for this now. Thank you very much, and we'll speak to you again.